You kiss under mistletoe, a plant ancient druids used in ritual sacrifice. You hang stockings, a tradition born from a desperate father and daughters facing lives of servitude. You sing carols door to door, originally called wassailing, demanding food and drink, threatening curses if refused. Every December, millions perform rituals with forgotten origins, pagan ceremonies, medieval customs, ancient winter survival practices, traditions older than Christianity itself, adopted, transformed, sanitized for modern celebration. The Christmas tree was sacred to sun worshippers. The Yule log burned for pagan gods. December 25th marks a Roman sun festival. Tradition number 1. Krampus. Alpine regions. Austria, Bavaria, parts of Eastern Europe. December 5th, the night before St. Nicholas Day. Children await St. Nicholas, the gift giver, the reward for good behavior. But St. Nicholas doesn't come alone. He brings Krampus, the punisher, the consequence for bad behavior. Krampus appears as demonic, horned, covered in dark hair, hooves instead of feet, long pointed tongue, chains rattling, bells clanging. He carries birch rods for beating naughty children, carries a basket on his back for kidnapping the worst children, taking them to his lair, or drowning them, or eating them, depending on the regional variation. This isn't modern horror fiction. This is documented tradition spanning centuries. Krampusnacht, Krampus night. December 5th. Young men dress as Krampus, parade through villages, chase children, rattle chains. The performance is terrifying. Deliberately. Fear as behavioral motivation. Balance to St. Nicholas's reward system. Carrot and stick. Gift and punishment. The origin predates Christianity significantly. Krampus derives from pre-Christian Alpine paganism, likely connected to horned gods of winter, deities representing winter's harshness and danger. The name possibly from Old High German Krampen, meaning claw, or from German Krampf, meaning cramp, representing frozen immobility of winter. When Christianity spread to Alpine regions, missionaries couldn't eliminate Krampus, too deeply embedded in culture. Solution: incorporate him. Make him St. Nicholas's companion. Christian saint brings rewards. Pagan demon brings punishment. Together, they encourage good behavior. The pagan tradition survived by partnering with Christian figure. The Catholic Church periodically attempted to eliminate Krampus celebrations. Too pagan, too frightening, too violent. In 1930s, Austrian Fascists banned Krampus, considered him unsuitable for children, too demonic for Christian celebration. The tradition went underground, continued privately, resurged after World War II. Modern Krampusnacht continues in Alpine regions. UNESCO recognizes it as cultural heritage. Thousands attend Krampus parades, young men in elaborate demon costumes, sophisticated masks and fur costumes. The performances are theatrical, intense. Tourists flock to witness authentic Krampus runs. The tradition has spread globally in recent decades. Krampus appears in American Christmas culture, films, decorations, alternative Christmas celebrations. Some embrace him as Halloween-adjacent holiday figure. Others appreciate the tradition's historical authenticity. Acknowledgement that Christmas wasn't always sanitized. Krampus represents the dark side of winter that Victorian Christmas sentimentality removed. Winter was dangerous, food scarce, cold deadly. Children needed to behave for survival. Krampus embodied those stakes. Modern Christmas lost that edge. Krampus revival reconnects with pre-sanitized tradition. Tradition number 2. The Yule log. Modern Yule log, decorative cake, chocolate frosting, resembles tree bark, festive dessert, or a television channel showing burning fireplace, ambient holiday background, cozy and harmless. The original Yule log was neither decorative nor innocent. The Yule log tradition originates in pre-Christian Germanic and Nordic paganism. Midwinter celebration, winter solstice, the longest night, the sun at weakest point. Pagans feared sun might not return, darkness might win, winter might never end. The Yule log ritual addressed those fears. Germanic and Norse peoples selected the largest log possible, often entire tree trunks. The bigger the log, the more powerful the magic. The log was dragged to the great hall, decorated with evergreen boughs and ribbons, sometimes soaked in ale or wine, blessed with incantations, then set ablaze on winter solstice eve. The log had to burn for 12 consecutive days. The 12 days of Yule, the period between winter solstice and New Year. If the log extinguished before 12 days, bad fortune followed. Failed crops, illness, death in the family, winter's darkness winning. The log's continuous burning ensured sun's return. Light conquering darkness, life surviving winter. The burning wasn't merely symbolic, it was magical ritual. The smoke blessed the household, ashes collected and saved, mixed with soil for fertility magic, fed to livestock for health, sprinkled on fields for harvest. A piece of charred log preserved to light next year's log, maintaining connection across years. The tradition included specific rituals. The log couldn't be bought. It must be received as gift or cut from own land. Purchasing broke the magic. The log required blessing before burning, sometimes blood offerings, animal sacrifices to pagan gods, petitions for sun's return, protection from winter spirits. Christianity encountered well-established Yule log tradition. Strategy: Christianize it. The 12 days became the 12 days of Christmas, December 25th to January 6th. Epiphany: the pagan sun celebration became Christ's birth celebration. The magical log became symbol of Christ as light, the warmth representing divine love, the continuous burning representing eternal faith. Medieval Christian practice maintained the log burning, but added Christian prayers, blessings from priests. The ashes saved not for pagan magic, but for protection from evil. Lightning strikes. The charred remains kept under beds to ward off demons. Same practice, different religious context. The tradition peaked in medieval Europe. Every manor and cottage performed Yule log ritual. The Victorian era began its decline. Smaller homes, coal fires replacing wood, industrialization changing heating methods. By 20th century, actual Yule log burning became rare. Symbolic decorative logs replaced functional ones. The French bûche de Noël cake emerged as substitute. Chocolate log-shaped cake, decorated to resemble wood bark, eaten instead of burned. The television Yule log appeared 1960s. WPIX in New York. Filmed fireplace loop. For apartment dwellers without fireplaces. The tradition transformed from pagan ritual to Christian custom to nostalgic decoration to chocolate dessert to digital video. But the origin remains: pagan fire magic, ensuring sun's return, surviving winter's darkest moment. When the Yule log burned, it wasn't decoration. It was survival spell, protection against darkness winning. Tradition number 3. The Christmas tree. The Christmas tree feels quintessentially Christmas. Evergreen in living room, decorated with lights and ornaments, gifts beneath, star or angel atop. Central to modern celebration, seems ancient, seems Christian. It's neither. Evergreen worship predates Christianity by millennia. Ancient Egyptians brought green palm rushes indoors during winter solstice, representing life's triumph over death. Romans decorated homes with evergreen boughs during Saturnalia, their winter festival honoring Saturn. Druids considered evergreens sacred, held magical properties, remained green when other plants died, therefore contained eternal life. Germanic pagans developed the tradition closest to modern Christmas tree. Winter solstice celebrations included bringing entire trees indoors. Not decorative, ritual. The evergreen represented life persisting through winter death. Decorated with food offerings for forest spirits, candles representing stars. The tree became temporary shrine, housing spirits during darkest time, providing them warmth and offerings. Specific trees held specific meanings. Oak sacred to thunder gods. Ash connected to world tree Yggdrasil in Norse mythology. Fir and pine most commonly used for winter festivals. Their triangular shape represented Trinity in later Christian adoption, but originally represented mountains, sacred high places, connection between earth and sky. The practice included ritual. The tree couldn't be cut carelessly, required permission from forest spirits, offerings made before cutting, specific prayers or chants. The cutting itself ritualized. Wrong cutting brought curse. Proper cutting brought blessing. The tree treated as living entity containing spirit, not mere decoration. Christianity spread through Germanic regions encountering tree worship. Early missionaries opposed it. Pagan practice, idolatry. Saint Boniface reportedly cut down sacred oak worshipped by pagans, demonstrating their god's powerlessness. But evergreen traditions persisted, too culturally embedded to eliminate. Solution: Christianized tree tradition. The evergreen's eternal life represented Christ's eternal nature. The triangular shape represented Holy Trinity. The decorations transformed from pagan offerings to Christian symbols. The star atop represented Star of Bethlehem. The practice continued, but with Christian meaning replacing pagan. The modern Christmas tree tradition crystallized in 16th century Germany, Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther allegedly added candles to tree, representing stars above Bethlehem. The practice spread among German Protestants, each family bringing tree indoors, decorating with religious symbols. Candles, apples representing Eden, wafers representing communion. The tradition remained primarily German until 19th century. Queen Victoria married Prince Albert of German Saxe-Coburg. Albert brought German Christmas traditions to England, including decorated tree. 1846 illustration showed royal family around Christmas tree. Published widely, sparked trend. British families adopted German tradition, became fashionable. American adoption followed British. German immigrants brought tradition, but widespread adoption came after Civil War. By early 20th century, Christmas tree became American standard. The religious symbolism gradually secularized. Decorations became commercial, store-bought ornaments, electric lights replacing candles, trees purchased from lots rather than cut from forests, artificial trees emerging. Modern Christmas tree bears little resemblance to pagan ritual. No offerings to forest spirits, no acknowledgement of trees' sacred nature, purely decorative, commercial. But the core remains, bringing evergreen indoors during winter darkness, celebrating life persisting through death season. The ritual survives, the meaning transformed. Tradition number 4. Mistletoe. Kissing under mistletoe. Romantic Christmas tradition. Innocent playfulness. Victorian custom. Stand beneath, steal a kiss. Charming holiday flirtation. The plant's actual history is considerably darker. Mistletoe is parasitic. It doesn't grow from ground. It grows on host trees, sending roots into branches, extracting nutrients, killing host slowly. Ancient peoples noticed this unusual growth, plant appearing in tree canopy without ground roots, seeming to grow from air, from spirit world, therefore magical, sacred, dangerous. Druids particularly revered mistletoe, Celtic priests of pre-Christian Britain and Gaul. They considered mistletoe growing on oak especially potent. Oak was sacred to thunder gods. Mistletoe on oak contained double sacredness. Rare phenomenon. Druids harvested it with golden sickles, ceremonially, catching it in white cloth. Couldn't touch ground or lose power. The harvested mistletoe used in rituals, some benign, healing ceremonies, fertility rites, but also darker applications. Roman historian Pliny documented Druid mistletoe ceremonies, including animal sacrifice, possibly human sacrifice during certain festivals. The mistletoe's parasitic nature associated with death magic, taking life from host, used in rituals requiring life-taking. Norse mythology provides another dark origin. The god Baldur, beautiful, beloved, invulnerable. His mother Frigg made every plant swear not to harm him, except mistletoe, too young and insignificant. Loki discovered this weakness, fashioned arrow from mistletoe, tricked blind god Hödur into shooting Baldur. Baldur died. The only thing that could harm him, Mistletoe became associated with death, treachery, vulnerability. Some Norse traditions claimed Frigg's tears became mistletoe's white berries. Her grief transformed the death plant into symbol of love. She blessed anyone standing beneath it, promised kiss of peace. This myth provides the kissing tradition's origin, but its modern invention. Actual Norse texts don't mention Frigg blessing mistletoe with kissing tradition. That's Victorian Romantic reinterpretation. Christian adoption of mistletoe proved difficult. Too pagan, too associated with Druid sacrifice, too dangerous botanically. Mistletoe berries are toxic, cause seizures, cardiac arrest if ingested, not innocent decoration. Churches refuse to allow mistletoe inside. Could decorate with evergreen boughs, holly, ivy. Not mistletoe. Too much pagan death association. The kissing tradition emerged 18th century England. Not ancient, relatively modern. Young men could kiss young women standing under mistletoe. Each kiss removed one berry. When berries gone, no more kissing allowed. The tradition spread Victorian era. Became acceptable Christmas flirtation. Sanctioned physical affection in otherwise restrained society. Modern mistletoe tradition sanitized completely. Plastic mistletoe common. No actual plant. No toxic berries. No parasitic reality. Just decorative excuse for kissing. The dark origins forgotten. Druid sacrifice. Norse death god. Toxic nature. All removed. Leaving only innocent romance. But the plant itself remains unchanged. Still parasitic. Still toxic. Still growing in tree canopy without ground roots. Still the same plant druids cut with golden sickles. The same plant that killed gods. Now reduced to Christmas decoration. Hanging plastic in doorways. The transformation complete. Tradition number 5. Caroling and wassailing. Modern caroling. Cheerful groups singing Christmas songs door to door. Neighbors welcome singers. Offer cookies and hot chocolate. Musicians perform free entertainment, spreading holiday cheer, wholesome community activity. The original practice was neither cheerful nor free. Wassailing, the original term. From Old English, ways hael, be healthy, be whole. The practice began medieval England. Lower classes visiting wealthy estates during Christmas season, not singing for enjoyment, demanding tribute, social obligation. The wealthy expected to provide food and drink. Failure to do so brought consequences. The wassailers arrived in groups, carrying the wassail bowl, filled with spiced ale or cider, offering drink to landowner, in exchange for food, money, more drink. This wasn't optional charity. This was obligation. Failure to provide adequate hospitality brought social punishment, damaged reputation, future retaliation. Crops might fail. Mysterious fires. Livestock sickening. Not supernatural. Deliberate. The songs weren't gentle Christmas carols. They were demands. Barely veiled threats. Many surviving wassail songs explicitly state, provide food and drink or suffer. We Wish You a Merry Christmas contains verse, now bring us some figgy pudding, now bring us some figgy pudding, now bring us some figgy pudding and bring it right here. We won't go until we get some. Not request. Demand. We're not leaving without payment. Another traditional wassail song. Here we come a wassailing among the leaves so green. Here we come a wandering so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassail too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. Sounds innocent until understanding context. The blessing was conditional. Provide wassail and receive blessing. Refuse and face implied curse. The God bless you had opposite. God curse you. Unstated, but understood. The practice intensified during 12 days of Christmas, December 25th through January 6th, traditional period when social hierarchy inverted. Lords served servants. Wealthy provided for poor. Temporary reversal. Release valve for social tensions. The wassailing enforced this inversion. Poor demanding from rich. Rich obligated to provide. Refusing broke social contract. The church initially opposed wassailing. Too pagan, too rowdy, too much drinking, too much social disruption, but couldn't eliminate it. Too culturally embedded. Strategy. Christianize it. Transform wassailing into Christmas caroling. Change demanding songs to religious hymns. Replace threats with sacred music. Maintain door-to-door tradition but sanitize content. Victorian era completed transformation. The middle class romanticized caroling. Published collections of gentle Christmas songs. Organized church carol services. Transformed wassailing from lower-class demand into middle-class entertainment. The obligation disappeared. Became voluntary. The payment expectation removed. Became gift. The threatening lyrics replaced with purely religious or sentimental verses. By 20th century, caroling bore no resemblance to wassailing. School children singing door-to-door, church groups performing, community events. Some groups caroled for charity, collecting donations for causes. But the original demand disappeared. The threat gone. The social obligation eliminated. Pure performance remained. Modern carolers often don't realize they're performing sanitized version of medieval shakedown. That "we wish you a Merry Christmas" demanding figgy pudding was serious demand. That failure to provide resulted in consequences. That the cheerful songs replaced threatening ones. The tradition survived by transforming completely. Tradition number 6. Santa Claus's appearance. Modern Santa Claus. Jolly fat man, red suit, white beard, rosy cheeks, twinkling eyes, arriving on sleigh pulled by reindeer, entering through chimney, leaving gifts. Universally recognized image, created by Coca-Cola advertising. Right? Wrong. Much older, much stranger. The modern Santa combines multiple figures. Saint Nicholas of Myra, 4th century Greek bishop, known for secret gift-giving, saving girls from servitude, generous but not magical, not flying, not entering through chimneys. Human bishop performing Christian charity. He's one component, not complete origin. The appearance and magical elements derive from Odin, Nordic god, also called Wodan, father of gods in Norse mythology. Odin's characteristics match Santa precisely. Long white beard, wide-brimmed hat, travels during Yule, the winter solstice festival, rides through sky on 8-legged horse Sleipnir, Santa's 8 reindeer. Odin determines who receives fortune or misfortune. Santa's naughty nice list. Odin enters homes through chimneys or windows. Santa's chimney entrance. Odin's Yule tradition. Children left boots by fireplace filled with straw, for Sleipnir to eat. Odin rewarded children with gifts in boots. If children were good, left coal or punishment if bad. This became stocking tradition. Boots transformed to stockings. Horse treats transformed to cookies for Santa. Odin transformed to Santa, but core tradition identical. Germanic pagans celebrated Yule with Odin riding through sky, leading wild hunt. Ghostly procession of dead souls. Children feared it, stayed inside. The wild hunt punished those caught outside, but rewarded those inside behaving. Odin noted which children merited favor. This became Santa watching year-round. Knowing who's naughty or nice, Christian missionaries encountered Odin worship, couldn't eliminate it. Too culturally significant. Strategy: merge Odin's gift-giving with St. Nicholas's charity. Create hybrid figure, Christian saint with pagan god's magical abilities. The combination satisfied both religious authorities and common people, maintaining pagan traditions. Different regions developed variations. Netherlands, Sinterklaas, bishop figure riding white horse, accompanied by helper. Austria, Christkind, Christ child delivering gifts. Germany, Weihnachtsmann, Christmas man with Odin characteristics. Italy, Befana, witch delivering gifts. Russia, Dead Moroz, Grandfather Frost with pagan winter god attributes. The American Santa Claus, crystallized 19th century. Dutch Sinterklaas tradition merged with German Christmas man. A Visit from St. Nicholas poem, 1823. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Clement Clark Moore, or Henry Livingston Jr. Authorship disputed. This poem established modern Santa, 8 reindeer named, arriving on sleigh, down chimney, leaving gifts. Political cartoonist Thomas Nast drew Santa 1863 through 1886. Established visual appearance. Rotund figure. Red suit. North Pole workshop. Naughty nice list. These images standardized Santa's look. Coca-Cola advertisements, 1930s, used Nast's established image. Didn't create it. Popularized existing design. Modern Santa Claus is Odin sanitized. Pagan god transformed into safe commercial figure. Wild hunt leader became jolly gift giver. Eight-legged supernatural horse became 8 flying reindeer. Woden's terror became Santa's cheer. But characteristics remain: sky riding, home entering, gift leaving, behavior judging supernatural figure arriving at winter solstice. Odin with better public relations. Tradition number 7. December 25th. Date: December 25th. Christmas Day, Christ's birth, central to Christian celebration. The date itself sacred. Biblical. Right? No. The date is pagan. Adopted strategically. Christ almost certainly wasn't born December 25th. The Gospels provide clues about Jesus' birth timing. Luke mentions shepherds in fields watching flocks at night. In Judea, shepherds brought flocks in from fields during winter. Too cold, fields barren, December shepherding impossible. They watched flocks outdoors during lambing season, spring, March to May. This suggests spring birth, not winter. Census mentioned in Luke also suggests not winter. Roman censuses timed for travel weather, not requiring people to travel during winter storms. Roads dangerous. Mountain passes closed. Romans were practical. Census during temperate months, spring or fall, not December. Early Christians didn't celebrate Christ's birth. They focused on resurrection. Easter. Birth seemed less significant than sacrificial death and rising. No birth celebration first 3 centuries. No established date. Various theologians propose different dates. March, April, May, November. Wide disagreement. December 25th, not mentioned. The date emerged 4th century. Roman Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity. Christian church gained political power, needed to establish official celebrations, compete with pagan festivals. Problem: December was dominated by pagan celebrations. Solution: place Christmas during pagan festivals. Co-opt them. December 25th was Dies Natalis Solis Invicti, birthday of the unconquered sun. Roman festival honoring Sol Invictus, the sun god. Celebrated sun's rebirth after winter solstice. Days beginning to lengthen, light returning, darkness retreating, major Roman holiday, popular, well-established. The church wanted to replace it. The week surrounding December 25th was Saturnalia, Roman festival honoring Saturn, god of agriculture and time. Saturnalia lasted December 17th through 23rd. Extended celebration, gift-giving, feasting, role reversals, slaves served by masters, wild parties, gambling, revelry. Romans loved Saturnalia. Giving it up was unthinkable. Church strategy: declare December 25th, Christ's birth. Christian festival overlapping pagan festivals. New converts could celebrate familiar date with new meaning. Same feasting, same gift-giving, same parties. Different religious context. Genius conversion strategy. Don't eliminate beloved traditions, rebrand them. Pope Julius I officially declared December 25th Christmas. 336 CE, political decision. Not historical or biblical. No claimed revelation. No discovery of birth records. Strategic placement competing with Sol Invictus and Saturnalia. Church documents acknowledge this. Not hidden conspiracy. Openly documented strategy. The symbolism worked perfectly. Christ as light of the world, celebrated during festival of sun's return. Darkness defeated by light. Pagan sun worship transformed to Christian sun worship. Linguistic similarity in Latin, sol and sun. The metaphor seamless. Converts understood immediately. Sun festival became sun festival. Winter solstice, December 21st. Shortest day, longest night. Ancient peoples feared sun might not return. Darkness might win permanently. Solstice festivals celebrated sun's turning point. Assurance light would return. Christianity inserted Christ into this pre-existing celebration. Christ as ultimate light defeating ultimate darkness. Perfect symbolic fit. Different Christian denominations eventually recognized December 25th as convention, not history. Eastern Orthodox churches celebrate Christmas January 7th. Different calendar system. Armenian Church celebrates January 6th. Both acknowledge dates' conventional nature, not claiming historical accuracy, celebrating symbolic meaning. Modern biblical scholars widely agree Christ wasn't born December 25th, date chosen for theological symbolism and practical conversion strategy, not historical record. The celebration remains meaningful. Date's origin doesn't diminish religious significance for believers. But historically, December 25th is pagan date Christianized. Birthday of sun god transformed to birthday of God's son. Tradition number 8. Stockings by fireplace. Hanging stockings by fireplace. Filling with small gifts. Santa leaving treats. Charming tradition. The origin story varies by region. Most versions include Saint Nicholas, but details differ, some quite dark. Most common legend. 3 poor daughters. Father couldn't afford dowries. Without dowries, couldn't marry. Faced servitude, potentially prostitution. Saint Nicholas heard of their plight, wanted to help secretly. Pride prevented asking for charity. Nicholas threw gold coins through window at night. Coins landed in stockings hung to dry by fire. 3 nights, 3 bags of gold, 3 daughters saved, married, happy ending. Wholesome story, generous saint, grateful family, stockings remembered. Tradition born. This is sanitized version. Historical context darker. Servitude euphemism. Without dowries, daughters sold. Slavery, sex trafficking. Nicholas saved them from that fate. Gold in stockings purchased their freedom. Ransomed them from prostitution. Not merely enabling marriage, preventing trafficking. Alternative version from Germanic regions. Much darker. Wealthy merchant, 3 daughters, Christmas Eve. Robbers broke in, murdered merchant, planned to murder daughters. St. Nicholas intervened miraculously, saved daughters. Robbers fled. Nicholas left gold in stockings, compensation for father's murder. The stockings hung by fireplace where father died. Blood money and socks. This version rarely told children. Dutch tradition includes different element. Sinterklaas arrives on steamship from Spain. Children leave shoes by fireplace, with carrots for Sinterklaas's horse. If children were good, gifts appear. If bad, nothing. Or worse. Helper takes naughty children back to Spain in sack. Stockings by fireplace became shoes by fireplace. Gifts became conditional. Behavior-based. Austrian and German tradition includes Krampus helper. Stockings appeared, but so did switch bundles. Birch rods for beating, if children misbehaved. Companion to gifts. The stocking could contain treats or switches, depending on behavior. Not purely reward system. Punishment component prominent. The stocking itself has symbolism. Medieval Europe, stockings were expensive. Luxury item. Wool. Hand knit. Valuable. Hanging valuable item invited theft. Doing so showed trust. Faith. Vulnerability. The hung stocking represented openness to receiving. Trust in divine providence. Or neighbor honesty. Displaying wealth while vulnerable. Social risk. Fire adds symbolism. Hearth was sacred. Home's center. Source of warmth. Cooking. Light. Gathering place. Hanging stockings by hearth put them in most sacred domestic space. The fireplace connected to outside. Chimney opening. Spirits could enter. Saints could visit. Santa's chimney entrance derives from this. Hearth as threshold between worlds. Between outside and inside. Mortal and spiritual. Victorian era, sanitized completely. Removed trafficking context. Removed murder. Removed punishment. Kept only gift-giving. Made it child-focused. Wholesome, sweet. The stockings became purely positive. Modern versions, colorful fabric, name embroidered, decorative, not functional hosiery, not vulnerable valuable, not connected to preventing servitude, pure decoration holding candy and small toys. Modern practice bears little resemblance to origin. No desperate father, no daughters facing trafficking, no saint rescuing through anonymous gold, no murder compensation, no behavior-based punishment, just cheerful expectation of morning treats. The darkness removed, leaving innocent tradition. Christmas stocking hung with care. Original desperation forgotten. Tradition number 9. Gingerbread. Gingerbread cookies. Gingerbread houses. Sweet Christmas treat. Decorated with icing. Candy details. Children's activity. Baking and decorating. Innocent holiday fun. Medieval origin considerably grimmer. Gingerbread emerged medieval Europe. 11th century. Ginger expensive. Exotic spice. Imported from Asia. Costly. Status symbol. Wealthy displayed ginger consumption. Demonstrated affluence. Early gingerbread was hard, dense, more like bread. Sometimes gilded. Actual gold leaf. Ultimate status display. Edible gold. Gingerbread guild formed. Craft guilds controlled production. Only guild members could bake gingerbread. Protected recipe secrets. Maintained quality. Controlled market. Gingerbread became luxury item. Special occasions only. Religious holidays. Royal events. Not everyday food. The darkness enters with gingerbread figures. Human-shaped gingerbread. Why? Medieval tradition. Execution displays. Criminals executed publicly. Bodies displayed as warning. Deterrent to crime. Bodies eventually removed. But warning needed to continue. Solution: gingerbread figures. Shaped like executed criminals. Hung where bodies hung. Edible execution warnings. Some German regions made gingerbread prisoners. Shaped like criminals. Details added. Facial features. Crime indicated. Displayed in market squares. Eventually eaten. Symbolic consumption of criminal. Justice literally consumed. The practice moved from actual executions to symbolic candy versions. Gingerbread men represent hanged criminals. Sweet consumption of executed wrongdoers. Christmas gingerbread connection developed later. 16th century, German Protestant regions. Christmas markets began selling gingerbread, shaped as various figures, saints, angels, eventually secular shapes, animals, houses. The Christmas house tradition derives from Hansel and Gretel, grim fairy tale, witch's house made of gingerbread, luring children, oven for cooking them, dark story. Gingerbread house became Christmas tradition anyway. Victorian era transformed gingerbread completely. Recipes softened, added butter, eggs, molasses, became cookie-like, decorating emphasized, royal icing, candy decorations, pretty designs. Gingerbread houses became elaborate, architectural projects, family activities, the execution origin forgotten, left only sweet decoration. Modern gingerbread men, cheerful faces, icing smiles, candy button details, cute, innocent, bitten with pleasure. No connection to executed criminals. No thought of symbolic consumption of wrongdoing. Pure holiday treat. The transformation complete. From execution warning to children's cookie. Medieval grimness sanitized to Victorian sweetness. Tradition number 10. Holly and ivy. Holly and ivy. Christmas decorating staples. Evergreen, festive, red berries, green leaves. Christmas Carol celebrates them. The holly and the ivy. Christian symbolism. Holly represents Christ. Red berries, his blood. Thorny leaves, his crown. White flowers, his purity. The ivy represents Mary, clinging faithful, protective, beautiful Christian metaphor. Except it's retrofitted. Pagan origin completely different. Ancient Celts and Romans venerated holly. Protection plant, ward against evil, lightning strikes, poison, witchcraft. Planted near homes for protection. Brought indoors during winter solstice. Safeguard during darkest time. When evil spirits strongest. Holly's thorns repelled malevolent forces. Berries bright like fire. Symbolic warmth during winter darkness. Romans celebrated Saturnalia with holly. Decorated homes. Made wreaths. gave as gifts. Holly represented Bacchus, wine god, revelry, drunkenness. Saturnalia was week of partying, gift-giving, role reversal, wild celebration. Holly symbolized abandon, letting go restraint. Not Christian at all. Druids considered holly sacred, associated with sun god. Evergreen nature proved the god survived winter, never died. Holly thrived when other plants dormant, therefore contained divine essence. Druids used holly in winter rituals, offerings to ensure sun's return. Protection spells, fertility magic, pre-Christian sacred plant. Ivy equally pagan. Ancient Greeks sacred to Dionysus, god of wine and ecstasy. Ivy crowned Dionysus, symbol of intoxication, immortality. Ivy remained green year-round, therefore represented eternal life. Greeks wore ivy crowns during festivities, drunken celebrations. Nothing Christian about associations. Celts believed ivy protected women, feminine plant, holly masculine, together representing balance, male-female duality, fertility when paired. Medieval belief, holly and ivy determined household head, whichever brought inside first. Holly meant husband ruled, ivy meant wife ruled, marital power struggle decided by plant. Christian church encountered deep holly-ivy traditions, couldn't eliminate them, too culturally embedded. Every household decorated with holly, every Saturnalia featured ivy. Strategy, claim Christian symbolism, reinterpret pagan symbols. Holly became Christ's crown of thorns, berries his blood. Ivy became clinging faith, Mary's devotion. Same plants, new meanings. The holly and the ivy carol codified Christian interpretation. Medieval origin, explicitly assigns Christian symbolism. Holly's prickles, bitter bark, sweet berries, all representing Christ's passion. The carol popularized across Europe, taught children Christian meanings, overwriting pagan associations. Successful rebranding. Victorian era secularized holly and ivy, decorative only, pretty greenery, red and green color scheme, no religious symbolism necessary, no pagan associations either, pure aesthetic. Christmas decorating. The plants retained but meanings removed. Both pagan and Christian interpretations optional. Decoration sufficient. Modern holly and ivy. Christmas aesthetic. Red berries, green leaves, traditional colors, festive appearance. Some know Christian symbolism, few know pagan origins, most know neither. Just Christmas plants. Pretty. Traditional, expected. The layers of meaning buried, leaving only visual tradition. Holly and ivy persist because they're evergreen. Beautiful, available in winter, perfect for decorating. The meanings changed repeatedly. The plants remained constant.